Hello guys, welcome to our channel Tipsy Storyteller. Today we are going to tell you the complete plot for Loki Season 1. The first season, which aired on Disney Plus on June 9, 2021, consisted of 6 episodes. The first season received favorable reviews, with particular praise for the performances, musical score, and visuals. The second season has been confirmed for mid-2023 and will also consist of 6 episodes. During the events of Avengers, Endgame, Loki stole the Tesseract. 2019, the mysterious Time Variance Authority receives an alternate version of Loki, TVA, a bureaucratic organization that exists outside of time and space and keeps an eye on the timeline. They give Loki a choice: face being erased from existence due to being a time variant, or help fix the timeline and stop a greater threat. Loki ends up trapped in his own crime thriller, traveling through time. So get your cup of beer. Oh wait, today I guess you need to. Let's get started with the plot for Loki Season 1. 6 episodes we are going to explain in this season are: Number 1, Glorious Purpose. Number 2, The Variant. Number 3, Lamentus. Number 4, The Nexus Event. Number 5, Journey into Mystery. Number 6, For All Time. Always, Loki was apprehended by the Time Variance Authority, TVA, after escaping from the Battle of New York with the Tesseract in 2012. The TVA resets the timeline, and this alternate Loki is brought before Judge Ravonna Renslayer for crimes against the sacred timeline. Loki blames the situation on the Avengers, who had traveled back in time to 2012, but Renslayer says their actions, unlike Loki's, were predetermined. Agent Mobius M. Mobius takes Loki to the Time Theater to review his previous transgressions and question his history of causing harm to others. He reveals that Loki, in his intended future, accidentally kills his adoptive mother Frigga. Loki tries to flee, but gives up when he realizes the TVA's power exceeds that of the Infinity Stones. He returns to the Time Theater and witnesses more future events, including Thanos' death. He then agrees to assist Mobius in tracking down another Loki variant who was killing TVA agents and stealing their timeline resetting charges. Loki joins a TVA mission to the 1985 Oshkosh, Wisconsin, site of an attack by the variant, where he stalls and tries to bargain his way into meeting the Timekeepers, who the TVA claims created them and the sacred timeline. Renslayer is opposed to Loki's continued involvement, but Mobius persuades her to give him another chance. Loki investigates TVA files and hypothesizes that the variant was hiding near apocalyptic events where their actions have no effect on the timeline. Loki and Mobius confirm this possibility by visiting Pompeii in 79 AD, after which they deduce that the variant was hiding during a hurricane in 2050 Alabama. They are ambushed by the variant, who charms several locals as well as TVA agent Hunter B-15. The variant reveals herself to be a female version of Loki and rejects his offer to work together to overthrow the Timekeepers. She sends the stolen reset charges to various points along the sacred timeline, activating and creating numerous branched timelines that disrupt the TVA. Loki follows her as she teleports away. The variant arrives at the TVA's headquarters and attempts to locate the Timekeepers, but is pursued and confronted by Loki. Renslayer attacks them, and Loki uses a TEM-pad to teleport them both to 2077 Lamentus 1, a moon on the verge of being crushed by a planet. Loki magically hidden the TEM-pad after it ran out of power. The variant, known as Sylvie, agrees to collaborate with Loki to charge it. They sneak aboard a train bound for the Ark, an evacuation spaceship capable of charging the TEM-pad, but Loki becomes inebriated and attracts attention. This results in a brawl with guards, who then throw him off the train. Sylvie follows him only to discover that the TEM-pad is broken. The two continue on foot, intending to seize the Ark and flee before Lamentus 1 is destroyed. On the way, Sylvie reveals that the TVA employees are actually Earth variants. Loki and Sylvie fight their way through guards and a crowd trying to board the Ark, but meteors from the approaching planet destroy it before they can board. Sylvie reveals to Loki that she escaped the TVA as a child. They form a romantic bond, resulting in a unique branch timeline and alerting the TVA to find and arrest them before Lamentus 1 is destroyed. In order to demonstrate that B-15 was a variant, Sylvie unlocks B-15's memories while Mobius traps Loki in a time loop involving a regrettable memory he has of Sif. Mobius discovers a recording of Renslayer questioning a mentally sound C-20, who insists that the TVA personnel are all variations. Renslayer claims that C-20 died as a result of a mental breakdown. Renslayer confronts them after Mobius releases Loki from the time loop and orders him to be pruned. The Timekeepers demand that Loki and Sylvie be obliterated when Renslayer brings them before them. Loki and Sylvie are assisted by B-15 in their victory over Renslayer and the Timekeepers' guardians. Before a recovering Renslayer prunes Loki, Sylvie beheads one of the Timekeepers but realizes they are androids. Renslayer is subdued by Sylvie, who then demands the truth. Loki awakens in the middle of a scene with various other Loki variations. When Loki was pruned, according to Renslayer, he was transported to the void at the end of time, where nothing has ever returned. They concluded that the TVA's real creator was concealed outside of the void. Miss Minutes, the mascot of TVA, bides her time until TVA troops encircle Sylvie, who then trims herself and soon encounters Mobius in the void. Renslayer intends to find the real architect of the TVA after questioning B-15. The other Loki forms inform Loki that everything in the void is destroyed by a huge entity that resembles a cloud that is known as Alioth. Loki, Alligator Loki, and Kid Loki are aided in escaping by Classic Loki after they come across a second Loki group that becomes infracted. When they run across Mobius and Sylvie, Mobius uses a TEM pad that Sylvie brought along to return to the TVA. Loki diverts Alioth while Sylvie tries to enchant it, but their efforts are unsuccessful until Classic Loki sacrifices himself to conjure up the image of Asgard that will catch Alioth's eye. Together, Loki and Sylvie successfully enchant Alioth, and the being leads the two to a citadel outside the void. After receiving information from He Who Remains, the TVA's founder, through Miss Minutes, Renslayer sets out on a quest to discover free will. And quad. B-15 uses a Renslayer variant who served as a vice principal at a school to demonstrate to TVA troops that they are variants. Meanwhile, He Who Remains informs Loki and Sylvie at the Citadel at the end of time that he used Alioth to wipe out alternative timelines to put an end to a multiversal conflict amongst his versions and establish the TVA to uphold this peace. He gives them the option of replacing him in charge of the TVA in a single timeline or killing him and risking the outbreak of another multiversal conflict as he has grown weary. Loki begs Sylvie to refrain from killing him even though she wants to. Despite their kiss, Sylvie sends Loki back to TVA's corporate offices. As a result of her killing He Who Remains, an universe containing alternate histories that the TVA cannot prune is released. Loki alerts Mobius and B-15 about He Who Remains variants at TVA headquarters, but they do not identify him. Loki also notices that a statue of one of the variants has taken the place of the Timekeeper's sculptures. That was the end of Loki Season 1, we suggest you to watch full Season 1 before Season 2. It is going to be huge. Like and subscribe for the updates on Loki Season 2 which will be out mid-2023. Thanks for your time. Cheers.